So we're just going to do a nice Pilates exercise. Anything that's good for anyone who's just sort of getting back after an injury maybe. Obviously with all Pilates stuff, it challenges the core, obviously the pelvic floor and the corset, the inner unit, which we talk about a lot. But we are going to talk about the outer unit. Now again, on the other YouTube video, I talked about lateral sling systems, longitudinal sling systems, and anterior sling systems and posterior. They're like sort of meridian lines. We're covered in muscle fascia from head to toe, and they're like slings of muscles that support us in certain ways. We're going to go through the transverse plane on this one, so the rotational sling system or the rotational meridian line. This runs from the splenius muscles at the back here. Going to walk back to get all these muscles in. Again, splenius muscles, splenius capitis, cervicalis. It goes down to the middle, sort of 12 right at the back and around that area. So the rhomboid muscles, you've got rhomboid minor and major. So it comes down the back and then rounds here to the serratus muscles. So it's spiraling round, the spiral sling system. Okay, got the aponeurosis here, down here, the rectus abdominis there. Then we've got the external obliques here, but we've got this cross. What really makes a difference to the spiral sling system. Again, it comes across there, the internal obliques, which go down onto the glute medius muscles here on the buttocks. Really important posture muscles. Again, I'm going to walk back so you get all these muscles in. The tensor fasciolati muscles here. Okay, all the way down your ITB bands, and again from here we're going to go down to the perineals and the shin splint muscle, which we call the tibius anterior muscles. So again, that's a sort of sling, it's spiraling round. Also we've got the QLs on the back, so like a cross on the back, so that's a lot to do with the spiral sling system. And the main thing here, as with a lot of the Pilates moves, they're stabilising against these little micro moves of everyday life. Now this one is very functional because we're near enough always constantly in transverse plane. If you think about it, think of the joints on each other, and we've got these tiny little micro moves, even smaller than a millimetre. You know, I'm probably over exaggerating here, and they're all doing this, and we're stabilising against them with the inner unit, but we're talking about the outer unit, which is stabilising against this rotational plane, this transverse plane. Okay, so the body's really all the time in a rotational plane, so we're just overemphasising that rotational plane in the body here, and that's going to be very sort of functional for everyday life. The outer unit, the proprioception unit, which stabilises the body, all these little sort of motions, is that rotational sling system, the outer unit there, as well as that inner unit, that corset muscle and the pelvic floor. So we're just going to go through a couple of exercises that cover that. So again, we're going to go on the one leg phase because 85% of the time you're on one leg, so it's really good to work the one leg phase. So from here, bring the arms up here, we're going to exhale, lift one leg, breathing touch down. Okay, shoulders down and towards the body. We don't want these shoulders popping up here because we're very overactive in the upper traps the way we live today. And again, 90% of us, including me, are very overactive in the upper traps. I'm trying to undo many years of boxing doing this. So again, my sort of shoulders, as a lot of people's will have a mind of their own and want to sort of come up here, and we overuse the upper traps. So allow the shoulders to mount in towards the body, hands in line with shoulders or below, but not above, because this overstimulate the upper traps to come in again. Okay. Again, you might have to remind yourself every now and then to keep the shoulders down and towards the body. We're going to exhale and breathe in. No jerky motion, nice smooth motion. Breathing in. Even imagine you've got a skewer through your head and you're turning off that skewer. Exhale, breathe in. Okay, you can lift the foot a millimetre, a foot or 2 foot. Again, only as high that is comfortable for you. Okay, it could even be a millimetre if you're in a bad way. of a back problem. Again, exploiting the range, speed and tempo to make all these exercises as easy or as hard as you like. Slow as harder, fast as easier. Same as the range. Bigger motions will be harder to stabilise, smaller motions will be easier to stabilise. We exhale and breathe in. It helps us zip up pelvic floor and scoop out your abdominals and take the navel towards the spine against this rotational plane. Breathing in. Again, if you want to make that harder, we go 2 exhales, staccato style. Breathing, touching down. Feel that soft cushion of the earth. I can already feel my shoulders trying to come up, so I have to really remind them to stay down in towards the body. Exhale, exhale, breathing in. Again, you can go to 3 on the leg, or 4, or whatever. The higher the numbers, the harder. Remember, you can lift the foot about that much, okay, as if there's a piece of tracing paper underneath the foot, and it touches the foot and the floor. Okay, because that's what we're mimicking, these little micro moves. You can even start off like that and then build up to bring your leg as high as you can. Okay, so again, how high you take it, it'll be harder. Speed as well, slow as harder, fast as easier. And again, just think of that skewer through your head and just turning off that skewer. Zip up, scoop out your abdominals, navel towards the spine, no matter what you're doing. Okay, so that's a transverse plane exercise which will challenge the spiral line of the body, or the spiral sling system, or spiral meridian line. So we're going to go for another basic one. It's a lunge with a rotational movement. So we're going to come back here. So again, just get the lunge right before we start. So we come forward, okay, only as wide as you like. Wide as harder, short as easier. And again, as we come down, hips square, feet facing the same direction. But again, knees not coming past lead toe. That's the most important thing. Then we push back to the heels and we go again with a little turn. Opposite hand to opposite leg. We breathe in, come back. Exhale, breathe in. So it's exhale coming out, breathe in, coming back. Shoulders over hips, head over shoulders. We lengthen up from the crown. So it's a or vice versa. Simply calibrate and synchronise the breath and the motion. Here and back. Again, headlights on your hips, not searchlights, facing the front. So again, we want to gather in against this, and again, just a slight turn. Okay, a slight turn here, and gathering against the instability. Keep your hips facing forward, you're turning here, then coming back. Lovely. So that's a nice basic one. Again, you've got more sort of 3D motion stuff, because again, it's always nice to get 3D motion. Sometimes flexion, extension, lateral flexion to either side is quite 2D, so we're trying to get a little bit of 3D motion, because the body is a 3D motion machine, not a 2D motion machine. So if you want to go a little bit more advanced and just work on the motor part of the brain, which is firing all these sequences in firing orders, from the pelvic floor and the corset, out to the torso, then out to the limbs, then we're going to make it a little bit more advanced, a little bit more 3D. So it's the same deal, opposite hand to opposite leg, but we're going to come out to the side. So again, from here we're coming out to the side, same side leg, opposite side leg, opposite side hand, here and back, here and back, pushing back for the heels. The knee doesn't come past the toes. Exhale, one motion, breathe on the next. Shoulders over hips, head over shoulders. Lovely. And also, if you want to go backwards, we go backwards. Again, opposite side leg, opposite side hand. We come forward and then we go backwards. Lovely. Backwards, here. Again, allow them shoulders to mount towards the body, not coming up here. Here and back. Then you come out to the side and back. So again, coming out to the side and back here. So breathe in, exhale, breathe in, exhale. Think of that skewer through your head, gather in, zip up pelvic floor and scoop out your abdominals. Taking the navel towards the spine, about 30% of your maximum if you can roughly judge that. Otherwise just lightly engage. Breathe in one motion, exhale the next. Lovely. Lovely, and that's it there. That's the transverse plane of the body working there, the rotational plane, that very functional plane, which we're in all day with all these little micro moves. We've just overemphasised that for function. Lovely. Bang.